Hello students, my name is Anjum Ali. I am PGT Economics at केंद्रीय विद्यालय तालबेट. वेलकम यू अवर चैनल टॉप टिप्स. आज हम इंडियन इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट की यूनिट 8 जो एनुअल एग्जाम में 6 मार्क्स की आती है, डेवलपमेंट एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ इंडिया के बारे में जानेंगे, जिसमें ए कंपेरिजन विद नेबर्स इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान, इंडिया एंड चाइना, इश्यूज इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, पॉपुलेशन, सेक्टोरल डेवलपमेंट एंड अदर ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इंडिकेटर्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. तो हम सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन से स्टार्ट करते हैं. इंट्रोडक्शन को हमने 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है, ए, बी एंड सी. सबसे पहले ए, ग्लोबलाइजेशन लीड्स टू इकोनॉमिक ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. Over the last 2 decades or so, the economic transformation that is taking place in different countries across the world, partially because of the process of globalization, has both short and long-term implications for each country, including India. Second point is formation of regional and global economic groups. Nations have been primarily trying to adopt various means which will strengthen their own domestic economies. To this effect, they are forming regional and global economic grouping such as the SHARC, European Union, ASEAN, G8, G20, BRICS, etc. Third C point is significance of the study. Why understanding of neighboring economies is also required. तो इसको हमने 3 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है. सबसे पहले हम जानते हैं टू अंडरस्टैंड द development process. There is an increasing eagerness on the parts of various nations to try and understand the development process pursued by their neighboring nations, as it allows them to better compare their own strengths and weaknesses in relation to their neighbors. Second point is to face competition. In the unfolding process of globalization, this is particularly considered essentially by developing countries as they face competition not only from developing nations but also amongst themselves in the relatively limited economic space enjoyed by the developing world. Third point is human development. An understanding of the other economies in our neighborhood is also required, as all major common economic activities in the region do affect the all over ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट इन ए शेयर्ड एनवायरनमेंट. इंट्रोडक्शन के बाद हम जानते हैं डेवलपमेंट पाथ और सिमिलरिटीज़ ऑफ इंडिया, पाकिस्तान एंड चाइना. इसको हमने 4 पार्ट में डिवाइड किया है. तो सबसे पहले जानते हैं हम स्टार्टिंग टुवर्ड्स डेवलपमेंट पाथ. ऑल द 3 नेशंस हैव स्टार्टेड देयर डेवलपमेंट पाथ एट ऑलमोस्ट द सेम टाइम. India and Pakistan became independent nations in 1947. People's Republic of China was established in 1949. Second point is planning of development strategy. All 3 countries had started planning their development strategies in similar way. India announced its first 5-year plan for 1951 to 56. Pakistan announced its first 5-year plan in 1956 and China announced its first 5-year plan in 1953. Third point is adopted similar strategies. India and Pakistan adopted similar strategies such as creating a large public sector and raising public expenditure on social development. Fourth point is similar growth rates. Till the 1980s, all the 3 countries had similar growth rates and per capita incomes. Where do India, China and Pakistan stand today in comparison to one another? To answer this question, we have to examine and analyze the historic path of development policies in China and Pakistan. So, we are first China development path. तो सबसे पहले हम डेवलपमेंट पाथ चाइना के बारे में जानते हैं. इसको सबसे पहले हम देखते हैं. फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज गवर्नमेंट कंट्रोल. आफ्टर द establishment of People's Republic of China. Under one party rule, all critical sector of the economy, enterprises and lands owned and operated by individuals were brought under government control. Second point is Great Leap Forward. A program named the Great Leap Forward campaign was initiated by Mao Zedong in 1958. Great Leap Forward program aimed at industrialization the country on a massive scale. It means rapid transformation of the country from an agrarian economy into a socialist society through rapid industrialization. Under GLF, people were encouraged to set up industries in their backyards. In rural areas, commune were started. यहाँ पर कम्यून का क्या मीनिंग होता है ये अच्छे से जान लेते हैं. Known as people's communes in China were formerly the highest of three administrative levels in rural areas in the period from 1958 to 1982, when they were replaced by township. Communes, the largest collective units, were divided in turn into production brigades and production teams. The communes had governmental, political, and economic functions. Under the commune system, people collectively cultivated lands. In 1958, there were 26,000 communes covering almost all the farm population. Next point is Great Proletarian Culture Revolution. In 1965, Mao introduced the Great Proletarian Culture Revolution. Under Great Proletarian Culture Revolution, students and professionals were sent to work and learn from the countryside. Its aim was to weed out people opposed to the communist ideology. Next point is reforms in China. रिफॉर्म्स इन चाइना को हमने डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स पे डिवाइड किया है. तो सबसे पहले इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ रिफॉर्म्स देखते हैं. द प्रेजेंट डे फास्ट इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रोथ इन चाइना कैन बी traced back to the reforms introduced in 1978. China introduced reforms in phases. First, initial phase. In the initial phase, reforms were initiated in agriculture, foreign trade and investment sector. In agriculture sector, communes lands were divided into small plots which were allocated to individual households. They were permitted to keep all income from the land after paying stipulated taxes. Next point is later phase. In the later phase, reforms were initiated in the industrial sector, private sector, farms in general, and township and village enterprises. Those enterprises which were owned and operated by local collectives, that is the meaning of village enterprises, in particularly were allowed to produce goods. At this stage, state-owned enterprises were made to face competition. Next point is dual pricing. The reforms process also involved dual pricing. Dual pricing means fixing the prices into two ways. First, farmers and industrial units were required to buy and sell fixed quantities of inputs and outputs on the basis of prices fixed by the government. Second, the raised inputs and outputs were purchased and sold at the market prices. Over the years, as production increased, the proportion of goods or inputs transacted in the market also increased. Next point is special economic zones, that is SEZ. In order to attract foreign investors, special economic zones were set up in China. The government has set up economic zones for the purpose of promotion exports, attracting foreign investment and importing high technology product into चाइना। तो डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में हमने चाइना के डेवलपमेंट पाथ को समझा। आइए अब हम पाकिस्तान के डेवलपमेंट पाथ को समझते हैं। डेवलपमेंट पाथ ऑफ पाकिस्तान, इसको भी हमने डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में डिवाइड कर लिया। सबसे पहला पॉइंट है हमारा मिक्स इकोनॉमी मॉडल। लाइक इंडिया, पाकिस्तान आल्सो फॉलोज द मिक्स इकोनॉमी मॉडल विद coexistence of public and private sectors. Second point is regulated policy framework. In the late 1950s and 1960s, Pakistan introduced a variety of regulated policy framework for import substitutions based industrialization. The policy combined tariff protection for manufacturing of consumer goods together with direct imports controls of competing imports. Next point is Green Revolution. The introduction of Green Revolution led to mechanization of agriculture. It finally led to a rise in the production of food grains. This changed the agrarian structure dramatically. Fourth point is increased role of public sector. In the 1970s, nationalization of capital goods industries took place. Next point is importance to private sector. Pakistan shifted its orientation in the late 1970s and 1980s when the major thirst areas were denationalization. Government encourage private sector. Next point is financial support. During this period, Pakistan also received financial support from Western nation and remittance from continuously increasing outflow of immigrant to the Middle East. This helped Pakistan in stimulating economic growth. The government also offered incentives to the private sector. All this created a conducive climate for new investments. And last, reforms in Pakistan was started in 1988. तो इन डिफरेंट पॉइंट्स में हमने डेवलपमेंट पाथ पाकिस्तान के बारे में जाना।